So welcome Isabelle Baumann to Supply Chain 600 Seconds. Now we're going to talk about how the business to consumer e-com is affecting also the business to business e-com and kind of driving a development there. Can you give your thoughts about this from the Zalando viewpoint?
Yes, and I think this is a very interesting question and topic, and in regards to the pandemic as well, because we can see an increase in the B2B business. As said before, I mean, we have a B2C business and we also have a B2B business with partners. And what has been accelerating in the last year is actually physical stores getting connected to the online fashion store at Zalando. Meaning that we enable the physical store stock to be visible in our digital channel. So that way we enable the stores actually to keep on selling even though they were closed, which has been the case in most of Europe. Almost Sweden has been the exception, actually, having stores open. So that is one thing. And the other thing is, of course, that with the pandemic, it's getting even more pressing with order economics, why the services now within the connected network that I will be driving will be even more interesting, I think, because of the shared cost for logistics and the one box principle that we have, which significantly can impact the order economics for you as an e-tailer or retailer.
How in general has the pandemic affected your business during 2020?
Yeah, I mean the pandemic has been a tough one for very many people and businesses, of course. But being a pure player, meaning online, of course, that has been a channel that has been growing.
Did you have a lot of companies had some problems to deliver and so on? Did everything work smoothly, or were you, because nobody could be prepared for that disruptive event?
No, fingers crossed. Zalando has actually managed very well, and of course have had the co-workers' health on the first priority all the way. But it's worked out very well, fortunately.
Okay. And Isabelle, how has the demand been? How much has it increased during 2020? For some e-com companies here in Sweden, I think that the increase was above 50% and more.
Yeah, I mean, we have seen double-digit growth rates for sure. So yeah, I think we can see the same trend as the rest of the industry on average within the pure players. Yeah.
Do you think this increase will last, so that you kind of reach the new level that you will grow from?
Yeah, that's a good question, but I think we can see that people have changed their habits. Although, I mean, we are all speculating now what will happen and what will not happen. But I definitely think that the levels will still continue to be high. Will they continue to grow as they are right now? I do think so. Because it's about convenience and time.
Yeah. Do you think you have reached new segments that didn't buy their clothes on the internet before? So
yes.
Just a broader.
Yes, for sure. Very many people have been limited to go to stores. I mean, one, because the stores have been closed in most of Europe. Secondly, in Sweden, a big part of our population did not want to go into stores because of the health risk.
Isabelle, you are newly appointed as Vice President Connected Network within Zalando, which is a new business. Can you tell us about your role and also the business that you're now starting to build?
Yes, of course. Thank you for a great question. As I said in the beginning, what we're doing, we're opening up our logistics network to our partners, meaning that in one step, you basically can access the whole European market for fashion with more than 35 million customers at hand. You will have the same network as we do in terms of logistics, both warehousing and outbound and last mile. This will also enable to have a good order economics because you will have a shared one box experience for the consumer, meaning you go with the same parcel as the Zalando products. And then we have another service. If you want to, for instance, return, you don't necessarily need to be in the fulfillment service. But let's say you sell on Zalando, but you do the warehousing yourself and send directly to the consumer. We will be able to offer you to actually return the goods in a Zalando parcel, utilizing the Zalando network of drop-off points, but also the return to the return center. So that will, of course, drive order economics again, and as well as it will make the customer experience more unified because they bought it on the Zalando platform, you shipped it to them, and then they send it back to the Zalando through the Zalando platform. The third thing is that we have, I mentioned it already, we also have what we call shipping solutions, and that is enabling, well, for instance, a small business that wants to start shipping, we will enable them to inject their parcels into our network, and we will take care of the distribution and last mile for them through our network.
And how far have you come right now in this area? Are you just starting to build this, and have you connected some suppliers, or is it? Can you mention anything about that?
Yes, I mean the fulfillment service is so far the most used, but it's also the one that has been around for the longest time. And the other services we are currently, I mean, operating.
Interesting. Do you have any role models globally within this area? Is it the same old Amazon platform, or are there others?
Well, I mean, there are a lot of really good players out there. So I guess you can look into many role models, but we would see that our proposition is being, you know, the starting point for fashion, and that is kind of our unique selling point, where we want to enable the consumers to have a fantastic experience in our platform.
Sounds great. I will look into that. Thank you so much, Isabelle, for a nice conversation.
Thank you.